Good afternoon. It is Saturday, and I really didn't do anything on the house last week. I just had a bunch of other things going on, some work stuff, some people in town. I didn't get much done. Interestingly, the HVAC crew didn't get anything done last week either. Allegedly, they're coming on Monday, and we'll have everything done then. We'll see. It'll be great to get the basement cleaned up and just everything cleaned up, and for me to get back to it. What I did do last week was a lot of research on the final bits of the electrical system. I'd like to talk about some of those things that I'm going to be starting on very soon. Well, for starters, the wall behind me is where the new meter socket's going to go, as well as the new breaker box. The meter socket is a ringless bypass meter socket, which is required by Excel. And the breaker box, or my load center, is, I believe, a 30 space 200 amp load center. So those will go on either side, or on the other side of this wall. You can see currently there's a service cable coming in. It goes up into the garage. I will replace the service cable with a new service cable and keep that panel in the garage as a 100 amp sub panel. Let's go talk about that. So again, I'll be keeping this 100 amp sub panel. Now, I'll have to make one modification to it, however. If I were to take this cover off, you would see that the neutral and the ground are bonded together. You only bond the neutral and the ground together when it's the main load center. Since this is a sub panel, we'll want the ground and the neutral conductor to be separately, to not be connected. And the reason for that is because the ground needs to return to a single source, which is the main load center outside. So at the main load center, you know, you're grounded and you have your grounding rods. And so if there's any problems like with a short, it's all going into that ground. But from here, we need the ground and the neutral to be separate. So the neutral conductor can return to the neutral conductor of the main load center, and the ground can do likewise to the actual ground. Other than that, I might have to update some of these breakers with arc fault breakers, but the box and everything else will be good. This will really just be the sub panel for the garage. But one thing I will be doing is putting in a 200 amp for an electric vehicle charging station that I don't have yet. But again, with anything electrical, you want to future-proof it because it's cheap to add things now, expensive to add them later. I think that's all I want to talk about today. I'm waiting to hear back from Excel to see when they can come disconnect my meter socket. Once they get that thing disconnected, it's a simple matter of putting the new meter socket in, and really that's all I'd have to do that day. But what I'd like to do the day everything gets connected is install my new meter socket and install my new load center outside, run the service cable from the meter socket to the load center, and also up the mast to the new drop head. If I can get that knocked out in a day, they can come back whenever, hook it all up, and I will be good to start running all of my branch circuits to all the rooms. So electrical is going to be happening the next couple of weeks. I will catch you guys either Sunday or Monday. Good evening. It's Monday, August 9th, and I think the HVAC crew finished up today. They still have a bit of material here that was left over and a few of their tools, but everything seems to be done. I'm taping over the new HVAC floor ducts because I want to keep dust out of the system while I finish up the house. As I've been telling you, electrical is the next project. I'm gonna go to Home Depot or Lowe's later tonight and buy my service entrance cable. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm gonna need some 404040 or 404020 for my main drop from the mast. And from there, to run to my 100 amp panel, I need at least 2224 aluminum or 444 to copper for the service entrance cable to my 100 amp sub panel. I might get thicker cable just to future-proof it a little bit, and it's always, you know, if you're getting thicker wire, it's a little bit more safe fire-wise. But anyways, those are the code minimums for a 200 amp meter and service and a 100 amp sub panel. I'm gonna finish taping up these ducts and go get some cable.